is that when they shred his bill in subcommittee, he gets a bunch of us together and we go to the executive, to the director of corrections and other guys and get it done. An example of that is the anti-shackling. Women are being shackled, and on April 7th, the regulations go into effect to stop it. It's because of Patrick's leadership. And on the telephone gouging, he's testified with us before the Communications Commission, FCC. And the rates for interstate calls have been reduced as well. So
thank you, John. I would let him go on, but we have to go. But no, thank you. I don't know how you follow Dick Sasswell. Ben Cricklery said he's not going to blame, and I'm so glad to hear him say that, because we should not blame. Frankly, this is just too important of an issue. And so I want to thank you, John, for your leadership again. Thank you all for being here. It's always a pleasure. As Delegate Plum said, it makes it all worthwhile. You sort of realize what you're fighting for. And progressives are extremely frustrated in Virginia, but we are all very hopeful as well, and because we're aligned to help the poor and the middle class, and that's what you're here for. That's what your agenda is about. So we've had, I think, sort of a mixed bag this year, but it is frustration. I mean, some things on prison reform, you know, we're doing some work there on the prison phones issue. Those of you that aren't aware with the phones, when an inmate calls home, the Virginia, on top of the regular rates that anyone else charges, they get charged a 35% rate, the families that receive that call. And so it's really discouraging for families to take calls from inmates because they just can't afford it. $4 or $5 a minute is not uncommon. And so we're doing some work in that area. In fact, we're working at the national level with John and Virginia Cure. We've been able to bring those rates down. They're probably going to make it illegal for Virginia to do that, or Virginia's going to have to unwind how that happens. And so we've got some positive steps there. Director Clark, who's the director of the Department of Corrections, just got public notice that he was reappointed by Terry McAuliffe, which is a very positive step for prison issues, because he's done a lot, not just in shackling, but also in solitary confinement, an issue that I've been very much involved in, and with the health assault. And so we're looking at even doing some more things, and hopefully in the area of parole, there'll be some progress in there. But I can tell you that all the issues that we talk about here, whether you're frustrated about, really comes down to one thing, and it's gerrymandering, it's redistricting. And there's a reason why you take a look at all of our statewide officials that we have, all 5 of them are Democrats. But yet you look at the makeup of the House of Delegates, there's only 32 of us to their 68. So something's wrong, and I will submit to you the reason why that was brought to you, the transvaginal ultrasound bill, or voter ID, or payday lending, or what we're standing in right now with the Medicaid expansion debate, is because of gerrymandering. If you look at a map, it looks like a political map, but if you look at a map where most of the uninsured are, they're in the rural parts of the states, represented by a lot of Republicans that are standing in the way of this. And so I think it's tremendously frustrating when you look at, and I hope Delegate Plum talks about his efforts on minimum wage, and I know there's other delegates that were involved in that failed. I mean, a lot of these things, we would make a lot of progress. I mean, just look at the makeup of the Senate. It's 2020. Virginia's probably closer to that kind of balance than what we see in the House. And all the frustrations that we have can all be related back to redistricting. There's some positive things. David Balducci has been working on work share. That's an issue that I've been involved in a couple of years ago, and I wisely took a step back from that. I think sometimes that's the best thing that you can do. But they led the effort in the Senate and had some success in that area. And I know Delegate Lopez has made it his mission in life to get the DREAM Act passed, and I know he's going to talk about that. So, and it's frustrating, but I tell you, it all comes back to redistricting. Ironically, there's an article in the paper. I have not subscribed to the Washington Post in a couple of years, so I don't read it when it comes into when everyone else reads it. I read it online, and so they posted in a local opinions section about redistricting. And they confirmed that, again, Medicaid expansion, it's the economics are just so overwhelming. Why on earth wouldn't we do this? It's because of redistricting. It's because that's what's standing in our way. But I think that there's all these frustrations that we have a lot of hope on the horizon. And Governor McAuliffe and the leadership of Senator Sasslaw and Senator Howe, I mean, they're going to do a lot of things for us that we ordinarily wouldn't do. And so we're keep the faith, keep working very hard. I very much appreciate your support. I know we all do. And we just look forward to working with you in the future, because I think with this leadership in place, I think we can have some real successes ahead. So thank you all again for allowing me to be here.